Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Soul Speak. I am your host, Emily Miller, intuitive guide and healer. Okay, so last week we had a full chit chat about angels and guardian angels and beings who are there, who are our guides. And also in that episode, I very briefly mentioned about the beings who are working sort of against us, that are beings that are absence of light beings, and they are using our energy for themselves. Okay. So I thought this week we would get into that. And whenever I am talking about these absence of light beings, a lot of times I'll just refer to them as dark forces. And so that's just kind of a broad overview term of these beings who are working with no light, meaning that they have decided at some point in their lives to cut off from source. So when I am working, and most likely if you're here how you work, whether you're fully aware of it or not, there is a being who you see as having, limitless amounts of energy. They are a creator energy. They are a, ultimate know all, end all, be all source of information and light for you. So while people have different names for this energy, I call this energy, this creator energy, this divine energy source. And other people will say God, other people will have, Buddha or it's escaping my brain right now, but other religions worship different sorts of gods. And so, whatever you call that being, this is what I'm talking about. You have a belief, a faith, a knowing within you that there is something, a power greater than you that has a plan for you, basically that created you, that put you here on earth for some reason. And while you might not be fully aware of what that reason is, um, and trust me, like I was at a loss for a really long time where I was at a point where I didn't even believe in God. It was just like, okay, what in the hell is going on here? I felt so lost for such a very long time and was in search for the answers and in search for something that gave me drive and meaning and hope in this world. If you are there also, like I see you, I feel you, I understand exactly where you are. So I've just recently, and probably the last 4 or 5 years, really started to understand what that energy is, what its purpose is, and why it created me. So, um, I've developed a relationship with Source and am able to talk to Source every single day, every single night. Anytime I am needing anything, I can reach to Source. I can also reach to my higher self and my team of guides. If you are here, I know that that information resonates with you, and you are not someone who has most likely um, intentionally sought out an absence of light way of life. Okay. So there are people who work with absence of light. That means that they have chosen at some point in their life, and like whenever I first heard this, I got like a little nervy. I was like, oh my God, well, because I didn't believe in God for a certain amount of time, does that mean I was working with absence of light? And it kind of freaked me out. And no, that's not the case. You have to like very intentionally do a very um processed out situation of actions that you take, and like things that you do have to be very like intentional. And if you have not intentionally, and even if you had, we can still come back from this. But if you have not intentionally decided, like, source God, I am not with you anymore, and done a certain amount of, things following that, then don't worry. Like, source is there for you. And even if you have, source is still there for you. God is still there for you. There are still light beings who are with you. Okay. So for a very long time, I was at a very big loss of what in the world was going on. And whenever I found that relationship again with Source, it really brought a lot of clarity into why I am here and what my purpose is in this life. And Source is an excellent being to go to, an excellent energy to go to gather that information and clarity on what is going on in your life. When you develop your intuition, connecting with source is a very, very easy process and becomes like second nature. Like, why have I not been doing this forever? So, and if you already have a relationship with God, that's amazing too, because it just makes that intentional connection to your, source energy. It makes it so much easier. So, um, don't be worried that you have cut off from light. It takes a lot to do that. And so these beings that live in our world that are working with absence of light have taken steps, and usually pretty drastic steps, in order to cut off from source energy. And whenever you cut off from source energy, whenever you cut off from light, a human being can literally not live, cannot continue life without their, like, your body will start to deteriorate. It will shut down. It will start to cross over. And by crossover, I mean die. Like, it will not be here anymore. And so you have to have light in order to survive in this world, in our human bodies. And if you don't have that light, then you will not exist. So people who have cut off from source, and I'll also say this too, a lot of times why people cut off from source is because they have usually felt like they've been wronged by God. Okay. So they think, why did I have to experience life this way? Whether they, like, there's a whole plethora of things that I can think about, but people who have suffered big time in life are people who turn to this absence of light ways to get things in life rather than working through source. Source takes a little bit of a longer time because you have some things that you have to learn in order to, like, earn the right to get all those things, which we've talked about. Like, are you ready for it in that podcast? That was a good one about that. So source works in a little bit more methodical, more intentional way, to where absence of light, you can get things super fast. You can call in energy from, other things, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But they send off rituals, they do cast spells, they do these things that they have to use other beings and other energy forces outside of themselves because they no longer have it in order to call it in. So when you cut off from source and you decide, like, I've been wronged by God, or whatever the exact terminology is, and you realize that you couldn't get the things that you wanted from source, a lot of times people will then flip and be like, I'm done here. And then they'll go the other route. And you can very quickly call in the things that you want, or um, even you can call in, like, punishments against other people. So it's not even that you're bringing in stuff for you, but you feel so wronged by the world that you want to, give pain and suffering to others. And so that's kind of where the absence of light beings, how they become. They realize, I can't get things in the source way. And I have been treated so badly in this lifetime. I give up on source and I'm now turning to dark. I'm going from light to dark. I'm cutting off, and this is how I'm now going to get what I want in life. Also, what happens too is sometimes in this lifetime, you're not meant to have the things that you're trying to call in. So let's say like you want to be famous, you want to be an A-list actor or a Grammy winning artist or whatever. You want to be LeBron, you want to be um, Sabrina Carpenter or Ariana Grande or you want to be, I'm trying to think of like some big actors these days. I can't, Margot Robbie, those kind of people. You want to be somebody who's known. Well, maybe in this lifetime, that's not what Source has planned for you. Maybe Source has something else planned for you. While you might think that that plan is like slow and it's not getting you to the fame, it's not getting you to the recognition, it's not getting you to the money. So you're like, nope, I'm done over here. This isn't coming fast enough. This is not, you're not giving me what I want. So I'm going to turn to this route. I'm going to go to this way. And this is how I'm going to get all the things that I want in life because they come in quicker and they're going to give me what I need, whatever I ask for, whenever I ask for it. So this route over here with Source, there's not any repercussions. There's not any sacrifices. There's not any bad. There's not any harm that's going to come your way. If you are working through the Source way, you are going to get literally a life of so much pleasure and so much joy and happiness and satisfaction. That's like such a Source way of doing things. You'll be so content. And in this absence of light way, if you're going that route to get the things that maybe Source wouldn't quite give you in the amount of time that you wanted it, you're going to have to suffer. You're going to have to sacrifice things, okay? And you are going to have to do things that I don't want to say that they're not good because it's not that they're not good, but it's just, it's not something that is going to make you feel good. You'll get those things. You'll get, the fame, the fortune, the recognition, whatever it is that you want. You can get those through an absence of light way, but not without paying a big, big price. And depending on what the things are that you are asking for and how big they are, that will depend on the price you have to pay, whether it is with your health or the other people in your life or the way that you're going to feel for the rest of your life. There are lots of different things that can happen. There are different things that you will have to give up in this lifetime in order to receive the things that you want whenever you go the absence of light route. Okay. So that is why a lot of people turn to dark forces and um, use those absence of light ways. They've given up on Source, and so they see no other way to get the things that they want, to alleviate their suffering, to alleviate their pain, but to go this route. So the next thing that I wanted to kind of talk about with this is that dark forces also have to feed off of our energy because and by ours, I mean light beings, because you are here, you are listening to this, you're a light being. So they have to feed off of our light. They have to use our energy because we are like filet mignon. We are a 5-star, 3 Michelin star. I don't know how those ratings go, but we are like the best of the best, the finest food for them because we are working directly with Source. Our energy is pure, it is clean, it is vibrant, it is all these things because we have Source flowing through us because that is how we decide to get our energy. And so it's the purest, the cleanest, the healthiest, the most vibrant. It is going to provide them the most energy. So they want our energy. And so they will try to find us. And they have ways, just the same way that I use my intuition to figure out, certain things. They can a lot of times have people within their groups that have the same intuitive abilities that like I have. They're just using it for the dark side rather than the light side. Okay. So I'm here helping you guys get on your path, and they're here helping their beings that they're working with find us. So they have teams of people who are on the lookout for our bright stars shining bright. And if you don't have ways to protect your energy, to keep it shielded and to keep it with you, then they'll be very easily able to find you. So daily and for longer amounts of time, I keep my energy shielded. I like to keep it safe. I like to keep it with me. And so if you don't have those practices, then you're basically like a like a buffet for the dark forces to be able to find you. So there's that. And so they come in and they need us in order to survive because, like I said before, if they don't have light, they will die. So they have to find us. And so they use our energy to feed their own. And how that affects us as light beings is that it will take us off path. Think about if you've ever given blood before. I've always been way too scared, but whenever I was teaching, they would bring in the big buses that would have students go in and give blood, which that's a whole nother thing. That seems so creepy. But anyway, they have these big buses and they have the students come in and say that they're going to donate blood. And after they donate the blood, they would feed them, juice and cookies and all this high sugar stuff so that they would have energy to go about the rest of their day. Because when you drain a human being of their life force, of their blood, of their light, we're either talking on a physical level or energetic level. So physical would be taking the blood, or energetic level using their light energy, they become drained. So if, let's say, they find a person who is supposed to, go out in the world and change a million lives, that person is going to be very, very light. They are going to be, lit up like the sun. And they're like, oh, yes, that is the feast that I need. I need their energy. So whenever they tap into your energy and use it for their own, taking it from you, it's like that parasitic coming in to infect your energy and suck you dry of it, right? Like that vampire, which there are people who come in and use your energy that way, and they are kind of like energetic vampires, right? There are human beings that do that. Have you ever encountered a person and they, come to you and they talk to you and they are like spilling all their guts to you and they're just saying everything to you, and after the conversation with them, you're like, "Oh my God, I got to go take a nap. That was too much." Those people are energetic vampires. Those are human beings who literally have to feed off of your energy in order to keep them boosted and happy. They leave the conversation, they feel like $1,000,000. When you're done with the combo, you're like, "Oh God, I got to take a nap." And so that kind of happens on that energetic level too. So they come in, they feast off of our energy, and these could be different realm beings. There could be demons, or, there's all sorts of other forms of absence of light beings that use our energy, and we can get into that at a later date. But those people or those beings that are coming and draining you from your energy, think about that after you've given blood or after you've had one of those exhausting conversations. You're tired. You don't feel like going on and taking on the world and changing those million lives that Source had the plan for you to. They're coming in and shutting down you. They're shutting down your gifts. They're shutting down your ability to go out and reach the masses. They take away that drive. They take away that knowing that you had prior to all the programming that you've been exposed to, that you were here to do really big things, that you were here to change, 1,000,000 lives. And so that gets me into another area of the dark force kind of agenda, that they have to keep us down. So not only do they do it on an energetic and physical level with our actual like energy to make us tired and to make us feel sick and to make us feel drained so that we can't use our full energy to go out and make the difference we're meant to. They also have instilled within our society, like within the world's way of being, within our culture, within our whole entire world, they have instilled so many different beliefs. And those beliefs run deep. They play the long game, okay? They are not here for a minute. They have been here for lifetimes. And each lifetime that these dark forces have had the ability to instill these icky, dark beliefs that don't serve us within our societies, it just gets stronger and stronger and more widespread. And now it's like we're living in a time that has never been in existence before because they have so many ways to infiltrate our brains. Okay. So I've told you all this before, but I'll remind you again that a belief is only something that you've heard over and over again. Okay. That is it. It does not mean that it's true. It's just something that you have heard over and over and over again, and you've taken it on because you've heard it so many times, and because you now think that it's true because you keep hearing it, you're now looking for that proof that those beliefs are true. And because you're looking for it with the law of focus, you will find proof. Okay. You will find evidence of all of those things that belief is programming into you to be true. So dark forces, the absence of light, they work through programming beliefs into you that hold you down, that keep you small, that keep you from believing that you are a unique, beautiful, gorgeous individual who is here with very specific individual creations within you to go out and change lives. That is why we are here. We have to overcome this nonsense that is in our energy and then use that to help other people come out of the trance basically that they're under of these BS beliefs that they are holding onto. So anytime, literally anytime you feel within your being, within your heart, within your energy, you have a feeling that feels low, that feels dark, that feels depressing, that feels bad. In short, that's a dark force thing. That is not you. That's not source. That's not light. That is not anything that is meant to be in your energy. So, there are, like, I can't even begin to tell you how many programmings there are out there that have been infiltrated into our society via dark forces, but it's anything that you hear over and over again in social media, in the news, in music, like let's just start with one with music. There's so much music out there saying how men are bad, men are cheaters, men are going to break your heart. That's not on accident, and that's not really the truth. Like, we don't have men on this planet to just like destroy the lives of women. That's the exact opposite. Like, there's a beautiful marriage of masculine and feminine energy and the ways that we're meant to support each other, men and women in this world. And it's not to go out there and cause harm and heartbreak and heartache. That's literally not it. But because the music out there preaches and teaches that kind of information, that's what we believe. Like, I was watching oh, Pretty Woman with my daughter the other day. If you haven't seen that, just watch it for the nonsense that is programming into your brain. I watched that movie whenever I was a little girl. It was about a prostitute who found this older man, and he was like, probably, I feel like he was like 30 years older than her in the movie or something. It was something ridiculous. And to think that you needed a man to save you off the street because the only other choice you had was to sell your body, and then to always be like hoping that there was this man who was going to climb up a uh elevator shaft in like a bad neighborhood to save you. Like what in the world was that? So just going back and like watching movies, and now that you're kind of listening to this, you'll be able to be more aware of the programming that's coming in on a daily basis to you. It's freaking wild to watch it and pay attention to it. Because it is, once you start to see it, it's really obvious. So anytime that you're watching something or listening to something, whether it is a movie, whether it's a song, whether it's on your TikTok or your Instagram Reels, those things are very, very curated these days. Those are not a lot of the things that you're watching on there, especially if it's being fed to you, like in your For You page or whatever, those things are not organic. Those are put there very purposefully for you to think that you have to do whatever that thing is that those people are doing. They want to take away your authority. They want to take away your belief in knowing that you know what's best for you. They want you to have to look to them for answers. They want for you to think that the answer is somewhere outside of you, when forever and always, no matter what, you know what's best for you, and the answer to what is best for you comes from you, not from an influencer. I guarantee you that 100%. And once you start using your intuition and learning how to tap into your own energy, and you learn with the techniques that I use in my Dark Force trainings and stuff, is you can block out all of that information. I call it contagions. It's a contagion energy that you are tapping into that was um, purposefully put into your reality to program and infect you, to like, just like a virus is out there, you know, just like you can get the flu and it's contagious. There are mind viruses out there that are contagious in exactly the same way, that come in and infect your beliefs. And that is the only reason why you have these programs, these beliefs, these things that are running within you, in your energy, and keeping you from your ultimate, truest potential. It's just these BS dark force programmings that are there to keep you down, to keep you small, to think that you are just like everybody else and that you're not special and you're not worthy and you don't have anything wonderful and amazing and special and unique to give to the world. Whenever I'm here to tell you that the exact opposite of all of that stuff is true. Anytime, anytime information feels limiting or it creates fear, that's dark force programming. That's not you. That's not source truth. That is information that we need to block out, push out, and keep out of our existence. So, while we also have this gorgeous light team of information that is helping us move through the world, there are also beings out there that are working against you. And I'm here to tell you that there are ways to block that out, to not have to experience that energy anymore. And to tell you that you are 1 million times more powerful than they could ever wish to be. And the proof of that is that they are trying to access your energy in order to feed their own. If they were so powerful, if they had all the answers, if they knew everything and what they said was true, then they wouldn't be literally concerned about us in the tiniest bit. So know that you are powerful. Know that you have all the answers. Know that you are your own authority, and know that you are like the most amazing, gorgeous human being on this planet. And the proof of that is that they want your energy. Like they need you. And we have the power to block that out. So this week, just be aware, be on the lookout. What kind of programming nonsense are they trying to put into my world? What is the untruth? What is the lies? What is the BS that they are putting out there trying to make me believe and know that it is not true? You are perfect exactly as you are, and you know better than them. You are the one who knows what is best for you. So keep that in mind. And I want for you to also, if you feel called, go to my website and sign up for my newsletters. And if you want to see if you have any of these dark energies in your energy, or want to see what kind of blocks or anything that you are holding on to right now that we could, work through and kind of clear from your energy, you can sign up for a mini read on my website. They're completely free and complimentary, and I would love to do one for you. So, thank you so much for being here today. I hope that it is only leaving you in a more empowered version of yourself, because that is my wish for you every single day, to know that you are the authority and you are amazing. So, have a gorgeous, gorgeous week, and I will see you next week.